morning, everybody, and welcome again to a live broadcast. Today's a little special because we are out here at BlackHawk Country Club for our 7th annual Rebel Golf outing. And we have a couple people with me today. One is our guest, John Levinsky from RE/MAX and the John Levinsky team. Thanks for joining us. And helping me is our colleague, JB, Jonathan Bailey, for his live broadcast as well. So we're going to talk about a couple things. One, a little bit to let you know about what the golf outing is, but also about John's business as well. So to start with the golf outing, JB is going to take that over.
Yeah, so like Tony already mentioned, this is our 7th annual golf scramble. It's our biggest one ever. So we have around 81 players this year. 2 reasons for the golf scramble. First is it's really one of our biggest client appreciation events. Also, we're trying to raise funds for the National Science Foundation and the National Institutes of Health, trying to raise funds to lobby for future generations, research, and things like that. And we can't do that, obviously, without help of great sponsors like John and the Levinsky team. This is actually his 2nd time being our title sponsor. Sponsors are critical to this event because with just the regular golfers, we don't raise enough funds to contribute to the charities, but with John's help and some other sponsors, we're able to give to those charities and help with those research and those funds. So really want to thank you, John, for being a title sponsor for the last 2 years. Awesome.
Thank you. It's always fun.
Yep.
Okay, and so before we get into John's business a little bit, and we've got the elements here, so we may hear some background noise. But you were going to give us some golf tips, right? You were going to show us
Yes.
some.
What are you laughing at?
I've just seen you swing the ball. I've swing the club a few times. So.
Yeah, you probably don't want golf tips from me.
Well, if you
I'm going to
were
leave that to you guys.
as good of a golfer, you don't want it from me either. So if you were as good as a golfer as you are a realtor, then we might want that, right? But let's just focus on the real estate, I guess. So tell us a little bit about your team and your, how does that comprise? How did you guys come along?
How did we come along? Well, actually, my father started the team 25 years ago with RE/MAX affiliates, and we've been with that brokerage ever since. We've got 4 agents total and an admin, so five strong. And what that does is it allows us to be able to take care of our clients better because the individual agent may not always be available for their client, whereas we're always able to take care of them on it. Regardless if there's a vacation or death in the family, we've always got somebody to back up and take care of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So aside from that, what distinguishes you? I mean, what have you seen that other agents don't do that you guys do?
Communication and care. We are very, very big on making sure that we're always communicating with our clients and making sure that they know what's going on, what to expect, and if there's any hiccups along the way, that they know what's going on and how we're resolving that.
And I can obviously attest to that because John is, me and Aaron, my wife's realtor, helped us get into our first home. Was great with us. Educational, obviously, just the education of the home itself, what you need to look for, stuff like that. So John is fantastic, and just had a really great experience with you guys. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And that's a great example because when you're buying a home, it may only be 1 or 2 times in a lifetime. Right. So you're a rookie every time, basically. I mean, I realize there's people that focus on rentals and things like that, but I think people just go into it with a lot of unknowns, right? I mean, you may learn a couple things, but there's a lot you don't
Absolutely. Know. I mean, whether it's your first home or your 5th home, like you said, it's still your first time every time because it's going to be 6 to 10 years at least between each house that you buy. And to remember what's going on and to keep up with the changes of the market, it's incredibly difficult unless you're in the industry.
Yeah. Let's talk about Columbus specifically. I mean, we were talking earlier. I think we've got about 1.4 million people here, and we think we're going to add another million projected in the next 20 years. So just growing like crazy. I mean, any of us can see things are going up all over, right? So what is it today for, let's start with a buyer. What is it like for them to go, what would you tell them?
We've had a housing shortage for about 3 years now, where we've had not enough inventory to keep up with the demand. We should typically have about a 6-month supply of homes on the market. And we've been seeing it trend around 2 or 3 months tops. That means that there's multiple buyers for every single home and multiple offers in that case.
Good time to be a seller.
Good time to be a seller.
But then you got to buy. You might have to buy something too.
Yeah,
so.
That's right. Yeah, if you're selling and buying, it's a wash.
Yeah.
If you're just selling, it's kudos to you.
Yeah. And any tips for the new first-time buyer? I mean, general ones. I mean, aside from calling you and learning more about what you guys do to help people.
Be prepared. Don't just go look at open houses right off the bat. Get with an agent, talk to them, go over what you need to have in place prior to making offers, such as your pre-approval. Know what to expect when you're making an offer. A lot of buyers are waiving the right to request remedies. They'll do an inspection, but they won't ask any remedies from the seller. They're going over list price and sometimes covering the appraisal. So if say the house is listed at $250 and you make an offer at $260, the buyers now are saying, we don't care if it appraises at $250, we'll bring that $10,000 difference to closing. And that's the biggest hurdle for a lot of buyers, is they don't have a lot of cash to put forth. So what we try to do is make that offer look as appealing as we can in other ways. So waiving the remedy is one of the ways. Giving them the closing time and the possession that the seller is requesting. And making sure we're with a lender that is willing to communicate with that seller and let them understand how strong of a buyer they are.
What about the people that are selling something and buying, and they may not have a lot of cash, but they got a lot of equity in a home?
Right.
So how can they make that transition?
There's two ways. Suitable housing clause would allow you to put your house on the market, get it in contract, and in that contract you put a clause that says the contract is contingent on the seller finding another home. That way they have an escape in case they can't find something. They can make a contingency plan or they can terminate that contract. Secondly, there's products called bridge loans or blanket loans, which allow you to pull the equity from your home to use toward the purchase of another home, with the lender's knowledge that that home's going to be put on the market for sale.
Yeah. You make a great point. If you're just looking for houses without having talked to a realtor or a mortgage broker, you're already way late. In this market, you are not going to be prepared.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have a pre-approval letter and you're trying to make an offer, everybody's just going to look past it.
Right. Because the seller has so many choices. Right?
That's right. Yep. And they have no proof that you're an able buyer.
Yeah. Where's your territory? Is Columbus expanding?
So our territory, we generally think of it as north of I-70, but we work so much on referral that we end up covering a large gamut. We sell in Grove City, we sell in Groveport, we sell in Pickerington and Canal Winchester, Hilliard, Galloway. We pretty much cover the entire loop, just because our clients are referred to us and we don't turn them down because we want to give them the same care.
And then we were talking yesterday, and you also mentioned too that you've been helping do a lot of relocation, right? Outside of Ohio.
Into Ohio. So they're either selling a house here and moving elsewhere, or they're moving here from another location. And so we'll get permission from the sellers to go in and do video. We'll do a FaceTime tour so they can at least get a preview of the home.
Okay. Just to be clear, you said most of your clients are moving.
Sorry, most relocation clients
Gotcha.
They're going to be moving in town or out.
That's right. I just want people to know that you're not just specializing.
No, not just reload. We do a lot of them, but not just reload.
That's a small part altogether. Yeah. So okay. So I'm more curious about this too. Like, what areas or communities do you think, if you had to pick two or three that are obvious, or maybe just one that are
really hot right now?
Yeah. Or, there's a lot of growth.
Oh man,
probably multiple.
Well,
right?
you could go Dublin, say Plain City, because it's Dublin schools. Dublin itself is kind of maxed out for the most part, but Plain City is growing, which is also Dublin schools. Delaware is growing leaps and bounds, especially the Olentangy school area. If you know Lewis Center / Delaware, they kind of blend together. But even Evans Farms, all the way up to Cheshire Road, thousands and thousands of homes going in.
And for those of you who really don't know, if you just think of Columbus as a circle, what they special at the top half, but they do down here too. But what John's talking about is actually, if we got 270 as bypass, it's above and beyond that. We're really pushing the seams out of Columbus.
Oh yeah.
And, without, as we talk, you want to think about those things, especially if you're relocating here too.
Right. The infrastructure is a big part. That's my concern with the Lewis Center, Delaware, is people that are commuting into town. There's really only a couple of north-south routes that are going to get them there.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great. We appreciate your sponsorship and joining us today. The rain holds off, and it's not going to come, so we're going to have a great day.
We will, regardless.
We will be live tweeting things all day, so please stay tuned and listen to those things. Aside from John, though, we do have other great sponsors, so we'd like to thank them. JB, I know you know a couple.
Yeah, so Handyman Matters, Union Savings Bank, Stolly Insurance, Aaronstein and Anderson, Health Markets, David Kerr and Greenbar Consulting, and also Harper and
Yeah, thank you all, and we'll see you all in a couple hours, and we'll see you.